Hello YouTube, welcome to this channel again. Today we're gonna talk about a very well-known stories that even led to the making of a film. Why do some people take great pleasure in torturing others? Tell your explanation or idea in the comment and don't forget to like and share the video.
Where's your emergency?
While Leatherface remains a fictional character, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre's true story is based on real events. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre of 1974 is inspired by several real events that caught the attention of legendary director Hooper. Its concept first came to Hooper in the early 70s. At the time of viewing, the tension is a little more, knowing that this story is based on real facts, more precisely on the acts of the robber of corpses, also called the Butcher of Plainfield, Ed Gein. The man who resided in the US state of Wisconsin in the middle of the last century was found guilty of the murder of Bernice Worden before being committed to a psychiatric hospital. The victim's body was found dismembered in a shed of Gein's property, and that wasn't the only grisly discovery investigators made that day. In his home, they did indeed find a variety of objects made from human skin and in particular masks such as the one worn by the character Leatherface. The American was actually digging up corpses in surrounding cemeteries and making all sorts of keepsakes out of their skin and bones. The psychopath also harbored an unhealthy obsession with his dead mother. The old woman's room, kept as it was and ultra clean, being in perfect contrast with the rest of the house, soiled and in great disorder. Gein reportedly wanted to literally step into his mother's shoes. It should be noted that the serial killer also served as a model for other filmmakers, in particularly Hitchcock for Psychosis and Jonathan Demme for The Silence of the Lambs. The couple, Lauren and Ed Warren, did indeed exist. Specialized in the occult sciences, they have helped solve cases of possessions, exorcisms, and ghosts. They have helped solve over 4,000 terrifying stories. Their most famous case remains the Amityville haunted house in 1975. She has the virtues of a medium. He defines himself more as a demonologist. Together, they wrote many books, but the story told in The Conjuring comes from a work written by Andrea Perron, one of the 5 daughters of the family who lived the facts. As terrifying as the film is, Andrea assures that nobody in her family was shocked, disturbed, or frightened by what they saw on the screen. I can tell you that what happened spent in this house is much more terrifying than what the film shows. The family members, as shocked as they may have been during the material time, agreed to come to the set to fit their story to the film. Only the mother did not have the courage to relive those terrifying moments. While her whole family was on set, she felt this demonic force that hadn't appeared in her for 30 years. That day, she had an accident that led her straight to the hospital. Before Amityville, there was Harrisville. On an isolated farm, a family is terrified by an eerie presence. The Warren couple will come to their aid and face a demonic creature of formidable strength. Ed and Lauren find themselves facing the most terrifying case of their careers. Even though the film focuses on telling the truth, at least as it was perceived by the protagonists of the story, other stories have been associated with the narrative. My goal was to integrate into the story the mind-blowing events that had happened to them, while remaining faithful to the parent affair, explains director James Wan. This third opus focuses on the trial of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson, a 19-year-old young man who murdered his owner over more than 20 stab wounds in 1981. This incident is known in the United States as the first criminal case in which the defendant declared the demonic possession for his defense. What do you think about these stories? As for me, I think that the films are terrifying, but the reality is more. So this is the end of the video. I hope you liked it, and tell me in the comment what do you think about it. So I see you next week for a new video. Goodbye.